look like you playing me. Is it safe to be thinking that you could ever get over on me? I'm a rebel to this game, so ain't no rules to be binding me. Y'all a felon in this industry. Y'all misdemeanors, tell me smart, I'm the one.
What's up, everybody? This is your man, Next Icon. This is the ICON Chronicles. You know what day it is. You know what time it is. It is the newest day in March, March 1st, Wednesday. It is 8 o'clock. I am your host, the incomparable Next Icon. No excuses. I can overcome negativity. Definitely in the building. We about to rock this out. Give me one tick. I have some background mute noise coming up from somewhere, and I'm going to have to go find out where that is because it's messing up my sound. It's messing me up. So give me one quick tick here. A lot of us are sitting here and just assuming that everything is okay, that everything is perfect, that everything is hunky dory, and that we in love, we're gonna make it, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and when it doesn't happen, then it's everybody else's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's the people's fault that are involved. It's your fault. It's my fault because we're the two that's in the relationship. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your sister, not your brother, not your cousin, not your aunt, not your uncle, not your grandmother, not your grandfather. The two people that are in the relationship, that's who's in it. That's who's responsible for the success or the termination of that relationship. And if you have not taken the time to heal yourself from your last relationship, you are going to destroy your next relationship and every relationship after that. And I'm still hearing background noise. Give me one more tick and let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. All right, let's try this again. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. In the place to be. I don't hear any background noise. So, as I was saying, in the realm of relationships, you have to give yourself time. Whether it takes, and please don't say you good in a couple days. Don't say that you're good in a week. Don't say that you're good in a couple weeks. You need to take real, 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 real time for yourself to 100% get over what happened in the past, because the past cannot be redone. The past cannot be changed. It cannot be fixed. It cannot be rearranged. It is etched in stone. It is done and over with. You have to move on. When you continue to bring that excess baggage and you have not healed from your last relationship, your life effectively has stopped progressing at that point. You think that you're moving forward. You think that you're moving into the future, but you're not, because you're still holding on to what happened yesterday. Now, here's the killer part. The person that did you wrong, the person that broke your heart, the person that hurt your feelings, they're going on with their lives. They're not thinking nothing else about it. You're gone. You're not with them anymore. They on to the next man. They on to the next woman. They've moved on. If you're looking for them to come back to you and say, you know what, I'm sorry for all the wrong that I did to you. I shouldn't have done it. I was the reason that we didn't work out. I'm sorry. If you're looking for that, you're dreaming. It is a very, very rare occasion that someone will be man enough or woman enough to apologize for what they did to you. But what you have to do so that you can move forward, so that you can start the healing process within yourself, so that you can sit down and have an open objective conversation with yourself, with the man or the woman in the mirror, you have to forgive. Now, I know a lot of y'all are saying, there's no way I can forgive what they did. They did this and they did it, and there's no way I can let it go. There's no way I can forgive. You have to. I'm not saying to forget. But in order for you to start healing, for you to start being able to open up to yourself, because when you start holding on to all of that, you lose a bit of yourself. You lose a part of yourself because that part of yourself is still stuck over there. And it hasn't caught up to where you are here. You have to allow yourself that time. It may take a year. It may take a couple of years. From experience, I've taken breaks up to 5 years. And it was not intentional. It was just that my life got so busy and I was so wrapped up in other things that time just flew by. But I have a goal. I have a goal that I have to achieve. And that goal is not going anywhere. But I have to take time for myself. I have to take a break. I have to look at myself and reevaluate myself, redefine who I am in a relationship. So that whatever mistakes that I made in the last one, I don't make in the next one. And that's not something that's going to be fixed in a couple of days or a couple of weeks or a month or a couple of months. Because a lot of us are walking around with baggage that is years, 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 years old. The baggage that some of us are walking around with are so old that they don't even make that kind of luggage no more. It's time to let it go. It's time to move on. It's time to grow. And yes, growth is a difficult thing, but it's an ongoing process. And you have to allow yourself that time and ability to grow. There's nothing wrong with it. And people are going to get mad at you for it. They're going to get mad at you for whatever it is that you do. People are going to get mad for what you say. They're going to get mad for what you don't say. They're going to get mad at you for how you look. They're going to get mad at you for how you don't look. They're going to have something to say. They're going to have a judgment. They're going to have a critique. They're going to have something. It's not your problem. That's not your issue. Your issue is getting yourself together. Your issue is getting your life right. And if something is not conducive to the way that you live your life, you have to cut that loose and let it go. That excess baggage from yesterday, you have to cut that loose and let it go. And people say, well, it's so hard because they did so much and it's always on my mind. There's a saying that says, out of sight, out of mind. If they're not thinking about it, why are you? If they're not dwelling on it, why are you? Why is your life still stuck back there and their life is up here? Why are you still in the past and they're living in the present, making plans for the future? And you can't even make a future because you can't even get to the present because you're still living in the past. You didn't take the time to understand what a relationship is, how a relationship works, what goes into a relationship, the work that goes into a relationship, the effort that goes into a relationship, the blood, the sweat, the tears that goes into a relationship. You just got into it for the sake of being in a relationship, and that is not fair to the other person. Especially if their heart, mind, soul, and spirit is into that relationship and you're still harping on what somebody else did and you're penalizing the new person for what the last person did, and the last person ain't even did nothing, they ain't even thought about it, they ain't even trying to do about it, it ain't even on their agenda to do because they genuinely just want to be with you, you are killing your own future. You are damaging your present by not letting go of the past. Now, some of y'all need counselors for that because you have been so deeply rooted in that pain, in that anguish, in that hurt, that somewhere in your mind, you think that that's how it's supposed to be. You think that you deserve the treatment that you get because it's become a natural thing for you. Because you've been mentally programmed that that's love. You've been mentally programmed that that's acceptable. You've been mentally programmed that it's okay. And the minute that somebody comes around in your life that is the opposite of what you've been programmed to believe, you do not know how to handle it. And you end up sabotaging and destroying that very relationship that you said that you wanted in the first place. Now, people say, ask not, receive not. They say, ask God for what you want and be prepared for it. But you can't really be prepared for it because you never know when it's going to come. It's not going to come when you want it, or it may not come when you want it. It may and it may not. But you have to walk in the light of that you already have it. You have to walk in the light that is already there, that you just got to go get it. And you have to go get it. You can't just sit around and then do nothing and expect something. When you get up in the morning to go to work, you don't just walk in the door, they just hand you a paycheck. When you walk into a restaurant, you don't just walk in the door and they just hand you a bag of food. You have to walk up to the counter. You have to look at the menu. You have to decide, do I want a hamburger? Do I want a chicken sandwich? Do I want a fish sandwich? Do I want a large fry? Do I want a regular fry? What kind of drink do I want? Do I want cookies for dessert? Do I want an apple pie? What is it that I want? You have that. That's all work. Then you have to work. Then you got to tell them your order. Then you got to count up. Then you got to give me your card, or you got to give them money. Then you got to wait for them to get your change. Then you got to sit there. You got to wait for your food to come. Then you got to eat your food. All of that is work. You have to work for your paycheck. Now, y'all willing to do all of that work for all of that, but you don't want to work on your relationship. You don't want to learn the person that you with. You just want to be with them, but you don't want to learn them. You don't want them to learn you because you've gone through so much in your past that they are going to run away. You're going to scare people away. If they're number one, if you tell a person in your past and they run away from you because you tell them that's in your past, then that wasn't the person for you anyway. Because the person that runs from you based on your past, a person that runs from you because of your past has issues of their own. A person that is 100% down for you is not going to worry about your past because it was your past. That's what you did then. It's not what you're doing now. This is supposed to be a new start, a fresh start, something new. But you can't start something new by bringing in something old and thinking that it's going to mix. That's like what they say. It's like putting a square peg, trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to work. And the only way that you're going to get that square peg into the round hole or round peg, however it is, the only way that you're going to do it is you're going to have to beat it in there. And in doing it and beating it, what do? You damage it. You crack it. You break it. You destroy it. It's the same thing that you're doing in your relationship. You're trying to fit a square into a circle. The square is representative of your past. The circle is your present leading to your future, and you cannot mix the two. It is not going to work. Now, when the relationship breaks up, everybody's pointing fingers. This to this, they did this, they did that, you did this, you did that, I did this, I did that, and da 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 da. Goes on and on. Have you ever just sat down and just said, you know what? We both messed up. We both had issues that needed to be addressed. I took my past out on you and you didn't deserve it. I tried to put you in a frame that you didn't fit in. We've all gone through something in a relationship. We've all, at some point in time, maybe, have been cheated on, been used, been hurt, heart broke, shed a tear. We've all been there at some point in time. That's a part of life. But what defines you is how you come out on the other side of it. Do you let your past control you? Do you let it regulate you? Do you let it push you around, stomp on you, beat the mess out of you? Or do you control it? That's the question. Again, I speak from experience. My past has nothing to do with my present. My past has nothing to do with my future because it's in the past. And whatever anybody did to me in the past, that was them. That was them. That's not the next person. I have to give this next person, I got to give them a fair, open, honest chance to make whatever mistakes that they're going to make in the relationship. Nobody is perfect in any relationship. There is no perfect man. There is no perfect woman. There's no perfect gay relationship. There's no perfect heterosexual relationship. There's no perfect relationship, period. There's a fantasy. Every relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, has problems. And most of y'all suckers, when you run into a problem nowadays, the first thing that you do is you want to run out the door and into the arms of somebody else because you think that the grass is greener on the other side. Just to find out that that grass is just as brown as it was where you was at. But a lot of y'all don't get that. Y'all think it's cool to have a side piece. Y'all think it's cool to be a side piece. What's cool about being second? What's cool about getting the leftovers like you a hobo or a bum begging on the street? But a lot of y'all are settling for that. You happy. That's like a badge of honor to be a side nigga. It's royalty to be a side chick. There's nothing regal about neither one of them roles, yo. Monogamy seems to be a joke. Being with one person and one person only seems to be old fashioned. You're not a man if you ain't got two or three women. You ain't a woman. You ain't a real woman if you ain't got a couple niggas on the side. They don't make you no man. They don't make you no woman. That makes you a cheater. It doesn't make you committed. It makes you lustful. It's misogynistic. But y'all want to go to the Bible. God says that we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Show me in there where it says that you're supposed to have multiple women. And if it did, if my mind serves me correctly, I think it did in maybe like the Old Testament. But then, they got the New Testament, the new book, the new rules of the game. Divorce is still not looked on highly. Marriage is a promise, not only to your mate, but a covenant with God. To never forsake each other. To love, honor, and cherish, and respect each other. For richer, for poor. For better, for worse, in sickness and in health, until death do you part. But a lot of y'all taking that till death do we part to the extreme. And y'all killing off the marriage for the marriage even really gets off the ground good. But again, it goes back to knowing, understanding, learning who you with. What do you really know about your mate? How many in-depth conversations have you had with each other about one another? One of the things that I do agree with Steve Harvey on is that 90-day rule. I do believe that. I believe that should go both ways. I believe that women should do that to men, and I believe that men should do that to women. Because if a person if they down with you and they really want to be with you, that 90 days is not going to be no thing. And it's going to tell you what that person is really about. Now, some of y'all may think that that's crazy. You well entitled to that. That's your opinion. But considering the fact of how relationships and marriages are going, well, not going, I should say, and how fast that they're ending, does that 90-day rule really seem like such a bad idea? That gives you 90 days of conversation. That gives you 90 days of dating. That gives you 90 days of courting each other. To really see each other. To really understand each other. To really get to know each other. That 90 days, if it's real, if it's true, that 90 days is going to be here and gone before you even know that it was 90 days. Sometimes patience is a virtue. Your body is a temple. Your body is your temple. And you cannot just be opening up the doors to your temple to everybody or in anybody. Because everybody don't have the right intentions for your temple. This is your life. And you have to live it to the best of your ability by what's best for you, based on what it is that you want and how you want it. And if it's not what you want, if it's not how you want it, and if there's any indication that it's not going to be that way, then you have every right to walk away. But don't walk away and go to the arms of somebody else. Walk away to and for yourself. Take a break. Take some time. Reevaluate what was going on and what went on and what needed to be changed. Did you compromise yourself in any way? Did you break in any kind of way? Did you settle for something that you said that you would never settle for? So you have to take the time and during a breakup to go over all of this. Write it down on the list. Check it off. Did I do that? Just write down everything that happened and what you were expecting, and did what happened coincide with what you were expecting, and start checking stuff off where they matched up and where they did match up. And if your expectations are higher than what you got, then it was in your best interest to let that go. There's nothing wrong with having expectations for yourself. There's nothing wrong with having standards, regardless of what anybody thinks. They're your standards for your life that you have to live, that you are responsible for. And if nobody wants to live up to that standard, then you have every right to send them on their way. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, once you choose to make that move, don't go jumping into somebody else's yard. Take time. Take time for yourself. Have that conversation with you. There's no time limit on that. And can't nobody tell you there's a time limit on that. Well, why are you still single? You've been single for 6 months. That is your choice. You don't have to explain that to nobody. That's your choice. That's your life. You're not here to live for the benefit of anybody else. You're here to live for the benefit of you. And if you need to take 6 months to get over whatever it is that you went through, if you need 6 months to decide what you want to do in your next relationship or don't want to do in your next relationship, you are free to do that. And don't let anybody intimidate you or make or pressure you into thinking that you have to rush. Girl, your clock is ticking. Let it tick. Let it tick. Let it top. Let it rock around the clock. It's your life. You're the one that has to answer for it when the time comes. You're the one that's going to have to say what you did with it and why you did it this way and why you didn't do it this way and what happened when you did this. Nobody else is going to be there answering the questions with you. You ain't going to have Perry Mason sitting up there with you. You ain't going to have Johnny Cochran standing next to you. It's going to be you. Now, I made a conscious decision on what to do with my life because what was going on was not conducive to the way that I was living. It was not conducive to my expectations for where I feel that I should be and for what I feel that I should be doing in my life and with my life. And because I made that decision, I'm the most hated person on the planet right now. But I can live with that. Because at the end of the day, that person does not have to continue to live with me. But I do. I have to live with me every day. I have to be happy with my decisions every day. No. Things didn't work out the way that I thought that they should. Things did not progress the way that I felt that it should have. And because of that, I had to make a change. Because of that, I had to make a decision. And everybody's not going to like the decision that you make. Everybody's not going to agree with the decision that you make. But again, it's not their life. It's not their future. It's not their present. It's yours. And it's up to you what you want to do with it. And you don't owe any explanations to anybody for any decision that you made for your life. Relationships are not something to be toyed with. Relationships, to me, are like sex. It's a sacred thing. The fact that people are just running around opening their legs and sticking up into running up into anything and everything, it's not the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be civilized human beings. We're supposed to be intelligent human beings. But a lot of us are acting like horny old men and women. Because one relationship didn't work out, you ain't worried about it because you got another one that you got going on behind the scenes, and behind the scene of that one, you got another one going on behind that scene, and you got another one going on behind that scene. It's not no life to live. And most of y'all folks can't even afford the lifestyle that you already got. Most of y'all men have all of these women that you can't even afford. But you're trying to be a player. You can't even afford to be a player. You can't afford the game. You can't afford the board. You can't afford the dice. Y'all want to be polygamous, polyamorous. Y'all want to have multiple lovers and multiple wives and multiple husbands. Like that's going to make anything any better. That just means you got more attitude, more personalities, more anger issues, more hurt and pain issues, more arguments, more. You got way more than what you would have with one woman. To me, honestly, if you want to have all of that issues and you want to have more than one woman in your life, tell your woman to buy a whole bunch of wigs. Baby, I feel like sleeping with Beyonce tonight. Gotta go get a Beyonce wig on. I think I want a strawberry blonde today. Tell her to go put on the strawberry blonde wig and tell her to change her name. I want to feel like I'm sleeping with a stripper. Go put on that outfit and call yourself Bubbles. All these extra personalities and extra people we don't need. It creates more havoc. It creates more animosity. It creates situations that don't need to be discussed. Creates situations that don't even need to exist. We're supposed to be grown folks. And we're supposed to be setting an example for the next generation that follows behind us. So what kind of example are you setting by showing your son how many women that you can sleep with in a day and step on their feelings and break their hearts and don't give 2 cares about them? How many how many young girls are out here watching their mamas sleep with man after man after man after man, having kid after kid after kid? You got 6 kids and 6 different baby daddies. What are you showing to your daughter? What happened to teaching young men how to be young men? What happened to teaching little girls how to be young ladies? Somewhere we lost that because we too wrapped up in this world of relationships and looking for that all too perfect relationship that doesn't exist. Life has problems. Life comes with problems. Life comes with lessons. Life comes with obstacles. Life comes with curves. Life comes with forks in the road. Life comes with thunderstorms, snowstorms, typhoons, hurricanes. Life comes with all of it. And we are here to navigate our way through it humanely. And a lot of us are not. There is no running to the other side. Handle your business at home. If it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. Let it go, but take some time. Take some time to get to know you again. Take some time to get to understand who you are again. Stop letting this world make its determination of what you should be and who you should be with and how long you should be single and when you should get married and how many kids you should have. And it's not the world's. The world has its own problems. And it's steadily trying to tell us what we should do, and then they can't even handle itself. Stop worrying about that. Let the world do what the world is going to do. You do what you have to do. But you don't have to be a sleaze. You don't have to be a little gigolo nigga. You ain't got to be a trick hoe. You ain't got to be. You ain't got to be a 7-time baby mama like you going for a record. How many baby daddies can I get before I die? How many baby mamas can I get before I die? There's not no race. There's no trophy for that. There's no certificate. There's no gold medal. There's no bronze medal. There's no silver medal. There's no pewter medal. There's nothing. Another relationship is not going to fix the old one. It's not going to repair it. It's going to make it worse. It's going to open the door to another calamity that should not be. Because you didn't take the time, one, to learn, understand, and listen to who you are with. You jumped into something that neither one of y'all was ready for. Now I'm asking you, if you are in between relationships, take this time for yourself. Get to know you. Get back to understanding you and reevaluate the standards that you have. Understand whether you compromise anything that you shouldn't have. And understand what you will and will not accept the next time around. Don't go running into the arms of somebody else. Because again, that's not fair to them. And at the end of the day, it's not fair to you. Because you really are not ready. And what do they call rebound relationships? Do not always work out for the best. Learn you. Understand you. Have a conversation with you. And with your partner, learn. Understand them. Quit letting them tell you that you won't understand. Make them make you understand. Because that creates the connection. That creates the bond. And once those have been achieved, the next steps are easy. Again, you know what time it is. Again, I usually don't put my personal life out there, but it is what it is, and that's where I'm at with it. And like I said, at this point in time, I'm the most hated person on the planet because of a decision that I made that was beneficial for myself. And I'm not going to be made to feel guilty about that. And you shouldn't either. I'm going to reach out to my guest and see what we can work out. I may have to do a pre-taped program because we're in different time zones. I think he said we're like 5 hours apart. So we're going to figure out something that we're going to get my man on the air and on the show. But in the meantime, for the rest of the week, y'all enjoy yourself. Still keep your head up. Work for the future. Leave the past in the past, yo. This your man, next Icon. I'm out of here like last year. Peace.
These niggas wanna play with me, thinking they playing.